Hey guys, I'm Brian Atkins and I'm back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Columbia, Tennessee. I think we can all agree that no matter where you live, there are pros and cons. And so the question I'm going to be asking today is, do the pros outweigh the cons and can you find the silver lining? So let's jump in and see what we find out. First and foremost, I just want to thank you guys so much for coming back by the channel. If you've been enjoying my content, the only way you can really tell me is if you hit that like button or leave a comment down below. I appreciate you all the same. So let's jump right into the video. Okay, right out of the gate, I want to talk about the first negative that affected us when we first moved out here. No mountains, at least nearby. I mean, it is hilly here, and we do have the Great Smoky Mountains about 5 hours east of us, but where we came from, we were surrounded by pine trees in a valley with a lake and a ski resort that you could see as you drove into town. That's something that we certainly miss. So if you're like me and you like the extreme topography, Columbia might not be the place for you. The silver lining is that we adapt. We no longer have to deal with 4-foot snowstorms overnight or driving down snowy, foggy, jackknife roads down a mountainside. We truly enjoy the intense green that is all around us. The thick wooded forest, the sprawling farmland and meadows is something that we truly have come to enjoy. And so I guess the pro and the con of having no mountains nearby is that we went from one beautiful place to another. Okay, number 2 on the list is the commute. And for those of us who work remotely from home, it's not even something that we think about. But if you have to go to a daily work location, the drive may be something you come to loathe. Most of us who live in Columbia and work elsewhere typically have to drive to Spring Hill, Franklin, Nashville, or some of the surrounding cities around Nashville, which means highway driving and the famous bottleneck going through Spring Hill. Due to spikes in population and the growth that we're seeing in Middle Tennessee, the infrastructure has suffered a bit. Because of that, there are times when traveling just plain sucks. The positive in this negative is that Columbia is within an hour, give or take, of the state's richest and most diverse industries of business. I know many people who would gladly trade LA's 2 to 3 hour traffic every day, especially since they spend that much time in the car, usually to travel less than half the distance. Despite the traffic sometimes, we are truly blessed to have this little city that feels away from it all without actually truly being that far away. All right, number 3 on the list, there's very few big box stores in Columbia, Tennessee. We Columbians, yes, we have to travel to get to Costco, Target, Trader Joe's, the malls and outlets. Sometimes that's a huge inconvenience, and it really reminds me of when I lived in the mountains because we had to drive down the mountains to get to any and all of the big box stores. So for those of you who hate driving or you absolutely need those big stores within spitting distance, Columbia might not be for you. The closest access to those big stores and shopping malls is actually Spring Hill. Of course, Franklin has even more and better shopping, and Nashville really has it all. And so something that my family has done is that we just make a day of it. We'll go and have some fun, we'll do our shopping all in one shot. The silver lining to this is that Columbia shines because it promotes a true sense of community and support for small businesses. I love all the small businesses in Columbia, and I think it truly is one of the things that makes this city so special. Hey, while we're on the topic of pros and cons, I would love to talk to you about the pros and cons of buying and selling right now. If you're on the fence and you feel like you just don't have the answers you need right now to make a good decision, reach out to me. Let's jump on a call or meet in person and talk about your goals. As always, all my information is down in the box below. Feel free to leave me a comment, shoot me a private DM, or just give me a call. It's all there. Okay, back to it. Number 4. This one really isn't a con, but the truth is there are some people out there who would consider it one. Kindness. That's right, I said kindness. When my family and I moved to this town, we were actually really taken back by all the strangers who took a genuine interest in us. We were so used to the empty hellos and the fake how are yous that when people actually stopped us and talked to us and our kids, there was just this awkwardness that I'm sure they felt too. We quickly took note of this difference in the culture and we really began to embrace it. For some, it can be considered a negative because, believe it or not, there are people in this world who do not prefer to interact with others at all. These are the types of people that do not want to know their neighbors, and they find it to be a bother to stop and talk to people they don't know, and even people they do know. Sometimes it's cultural, sometimes it's personal. So I would say if you do not enjoy friendly conversations with strangers, neighbors, or business owners, Columbia, Tennessee may not be a place that you enjoy at all. Number 5 and last on the list is no exciting nightlife and what's up with everything closing on Sundays. You may already know this about Columbia, but most of the restaurants, stores, and the few local bars around here, they close up pretty early, and a select few are even open on Sundays. This can be a pretty big inconvenience for some, and definitely a con if you're young and single. The silver lining on this one might be one of the most important things I share in this entire video. The reason that the stores close up around 5, the restaurants mostly close up around 8, and even the local bars close up shop so early is because the people in this community, they place a huge importance on family. Working and entertainment are definitely among the top things on our list, but how often do we put those things above our family? I think that if we had to answer that question honestly, I think that we would all have to agree that family time is often minimized or neglected at best. So when I get frustrated about Columbia's old-fashioned ways, I really do have to remind myself why I love it here so much. The culture here has helped me and my family grow so much closer together and be more intentional with our time. So if you don't have a family or you just love the nightlife energy, Columbia may not be for you. That's my top 5 pros to the cons for Columbia, Tennessee. I hope this video helped you see some of the good in what most people see as bad. Thanks so much for hanging out till the end. We'll see you in the next one.